guys, thanks very much for joining me today. Okay, so I've got to say, I've actually now over the past week or so made this video about 6 or 7 times, and each time I make it, it's just terrible. So hopefully this will be the last time. I'm not too sure whether it's because a lot of my other videos are much longer. There seems to be a lot more detail, but I don't seem to be able to get as much detail about these pencils as what I think I'm getting with the other pencils, and so the videos that I'm doing seem to be much shorter for the TomBow Irojiten pencils than all the other pencils that I've done. I just seem to have more to say about the other pencils, and I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But having said that, as you can see, I'm doing a review here of the TomBow Irojiten pencils, and these pencils actually, despite what I've just said, actually hold a really special little place in my heart for these pencils. Now, I'll go through the performance issues of them and all the rest of it, and the do's and the don'ts and the pros and the cons of why perhaps maybe a high-end colour pencil artist would or wouldn't use them, that type of thing. But the first thing that I'm going to go through is really the obvious, which is the packaging. So, as you can see, they come in this book format, and I think this is what makes these pencils really unique. And I do understand very much so that the packaging of a product certainly doesn't enhance or have anything to do whatsoever with its performance, and that is certainly the case with these pencils. But nevertheless, it is really difficult to avoid the issue that these pencils look absolutely beautiful, whether they're outside of the packaging or inside of the packaging, when they're set on your table or your studio desk or whatever, in the format that they're intended to be in. This one, they look like you're an intellectual, and most of you probably are, but I certainly am not. So I need as many things around me that make me look intelligent, so that I don't have to try and be intelligent. So these fit in really well with what I'm trying to achieve. And I mean, whatever my conclusion is about these pencils, whenever I finish this review, I will say this: I really do think that every single pencil enthusiast around the world, whether you are a high-end artist or whatever, I think everybody should have a set of these. Okay, so the first thing is first, they're called the TomBow Irojiten, and actually Irojiten means dictionary of colour is what it means, which is why, so I'm not too sure, this is kind of like a chicken and an egg thing. I'm not too sure whether they called them Irojiten and then designed it like this, or designed it like this and then called them Irojiten. But nevertheless, they're a Japanese pencil. Now, normally I don't go through the packaging and stuff like that first. I normally go through some other things first, but as the packaging is one of the main features of these pencils, I'm going to go through it first of all, and the sets and all the rest of it, because that's quite unique in itself as well. So, as you can see here, this is what they class as a set, and inside each set, as you can see here, this is set number 3. They have 3 sets, and inside each set there are 3 volumes. As you can see here, this one has volumes 7, 8 and 9, and the volumes come in the shape of these little books. And when they've got these like little elastic bands to hold them closed, but in case you're wondering, it just says here Colour Dictionary Irojiten, 10 colour pencils, volume 7, fluorescent, which is the volume this is. Volume 7 is fluorescent, but I'll go through that in a second. And then, as you can see there, the TomBow logo. Now, I know it's a little bit difficult because it's silver lettering and it's glinting. The light is glinting off it. So anyway, you open the set up, and then you have your 10 pencils inside each volume. Each volume as well has a little bit of information on it here. Now this one here is the fluorescent volume. They are a little bit mixed up, so the pencils that are in here aren't the original set. They're in the other sets here, but F1 to 10 is obviously corresponding to the fact that they're fluorescent pencils. Then you have the name of the colour here, so like plastic pink, sunrise red, sunset orange, dazzling sun, fiery yellow, neon green, flash green, vigorous green, that type of thing. Then the names are obviously in Japanese here as well. And then there is an alphanumerical code, and that code, according to TomBow, because I had to contact TomBow about these pencils and ask them a few little questions, but according to them, these numbers here are specific to the actual pigment that's in the pencils. So anyway, like I say, there's 3 sets. There is the Rainforest Set, the Woodland Set, and the Seascape Set. Now the Seascape Set is the one I have here. Let me just move these over for you. And like I said, in each set, so there's 3 sets, there's 3 volumes inside each set, and inside each volume there's 10 pencils. So there's 30 pencils in each set, and there's 90 pencils in total. Like I said, the Rainforest Set is the kind of like their set number 1, if you like, and it has volume 1 is Pale Tone 1, volume 2 is Vivid Tone 1, and volume 3 is Deep Tone 1. Then the next set is the Woodland Set, that's set number 2, and they have volume 4 is the Pale Tone 2, volume 5 is the Deep Tone 2, and then volume 6 is the Light Greyish Tones. And then obviously there's this one here, the Seascape Set, and it's got volume 7, which is the Fluorescence, then volume 8, which is this one here, volume 8. Sorry, it's upside down. Volume 8 is the Pale Tone, and then volume 9 is the Dull Tones. And that's pretty much how the pencils themselves are categorized. Now, so obviously, as you can tell, it is a little bit different from your conventional sets of colour pencils that you would ordinarily have. That just come in like, you know, a set of 12, 24, 36, 48, 72, 120, whatever. And let's get the pencil out as well so that you can take a look at the pencils themselves, because the pencils themselves are actually quite unique in their own way as well. So we'll close these over and move. And that's you know, because I'm doing a review of these pencils and because they're this beautiful white colour, I've got this black background, so I'm hoping that everything will still focus in okay. Let me just zoom in a little bit here. So these are the individual pencils, and so along one side, and as you can see here, the name of the colour is written along the side here. Then there's a small alphanumeric number here. Then you have on the very end here, you have the Irojiten name, and then on the other side of that, you have this alphanumeric code here as well. And it, like I say, it corresponds to the pigment in the pencil. And then you have the TomBow logo along the pencil side there. Now, the last video that I done, I was saying to people that when I'm doing research on the pencils, I go directly to the company. If I have any questions, I ask them the questions. But I also, in the interest of, you know, just trying to find out what actual people think of these, I go around the likes of Amazon and eBay, that type of place, and I take a look at the different reviews that are out, you know, what people have left and written down with regards to a particular pencil. And with the TomBow Irojiten, they really do get there really is a mixed bag of views out there. Some people really hate them, some people love them, and all the rest of it. And I guess my review will kind of reflect that in some kind of way, because they really are the type of pencil where you're either just going to love them or hate them. The packaging is a big gravitational pull. I would suggest when people go to get these, I would suggest, I think, judging from the comments and stuff like that, even though the people may not like the actual pencils for one reason or another, which I'll go through in a second, they love still having the pencils. There's kind of like that need to have these TomBow Irojiten pencils on your studio desk or whatever, because they just look so beautiful. And I know, you know, money's a big factor in today's society. Not everybody has a lot of it. We're always scrimping and scraping, at least I am. And so splashing out on things like this, it's definitely not a necessity. But if you're a pencil enthusiast, you're going to really want to have at least one set of these. I only have the Seascape set, so unfortunately I'm 2 sets down, which I do plan on getting at some point. Let's move on to the actual performance of the pencils, which might clear things up a little bit more. Okay, so as you can see here, I've done the normal test that I normally do. I've done this all on Derwent's sketching paper, which is, you can see there yourself, it's quite a toothy paper. It shows up quite well here on this camera. It's quite a toothy paper, and as you can see here, the top layer is just one light layer. The next one down is 5 light layers just layered on top of each other. We'll go through the layering aspect of the pencils in a second. And then the final row here is just one heavy application of the pencil. Now, unfortunately, in this particular set there's not like a generic red, green, yellow and blue colour, so I've had to just stick with these colours here. Now, one thing I will say about these pencils, when I was talking to TomBow about them to find out about, you know, this wax and oil thing and all the rest of it, which, like I've said in the last video, I'm going to do a video on. The pencils have a combination of wax and oil in them, so they're not an exclusively wax pencil or anything like that, or oil based, but there is more wax in them than oil, but they're still quite a hard core. So they sharpen into a very fine point. They hold a point really well, but they have that. When I was doing this first layer, as you can see, the colour isn't exactly popping off the page, which you wouldn't expect it to do for like one light layer. But out of these 4 colours, when I came down to the layer and the 5 light layers, the green and the peach, or orange, whatever colour you want to suggest that is, when it came to about the 3rd layer, there was resistance definitely building up, and it was definitely a chore to get the 5 layers down here on these 2 particular colours. But with the purple and the pink, these colours laid down much easier. They layered much easier. Although they were much easier than these 2 colours, there was still kind of a resistance building up by around about layer 4 and 5. But it wasn't such a resistance where with the peach and the green, by about the 3rd layer, that really, you know, that tacky, sticky feeling that you get whenever your layers are coming to an end and it's not going to take any more. So, and that seems to be the case with the entirety of this 30 set I have. There's probably about 5 or 6 colours in it that after about 3 layers stop taking the layering, whereas the rest of them seem to lay down okay. Not fantastic, but definitely okay, definitely manageable. When you put down the heavy application as well, you can feel that sticky, tacky, bloomy type feeling whenever you're putting a lot of layers down. And you can see here that there is not a lot of difference in terms of colour, the vibrancy of the colour or anything like that in both these sets. So they turned out, in terms of the colouring aspect of it, turned out quite well. Now, when it came to blending, I did try it with solvent, but it didn't work that well. Although the pigment broke down okay and it was able to move about, but just the blending aspect of it was just a mess. So I done this blending test here. It was just a dry blending test, and again, it's only a couple of layers here, and I've just used like a yellow and a blue, and you can definitely see that it has created a green, but it's not like it hasn't created a soft gradient or anything like that. So the blending was definitely arduous. It was definitely a chore. It wasn't a pleasurable experience or anything like that. It wasn't an easy thing to do. You had to work at it a little bit in order to get any sort of a result. But I keep going back to this saying that there's just something about these pencils that are so charming that you can't help but not love them. In terms of the light fastness, just let me move this away. Zoom out. In terms of light fast ability, I spoke to TomBow about this, and they said that the light fast isn't that great on them, with the exception of volume 7 and volume 2. They have, which is the deep tones, they have a slightly higher light fast rating than all the others, but that's not specific enough, and that's why I wouldn't recommend that if you were the type of colour pencil artist that's going to be doing commissions, that type of thing, that unfortunately you wouldn't really be able to use these TomBow Irojiten pencils because of the primary reason, the light fast aspect. There's not enough specific information. You know the way with other pencils you have that 3-star rating or like the 8-point rating that Derwent have, that type of thing. TomBow don't have that with these particular pencils, and so therefore you're not going to know which is the best light fast pencil in the set or anything like that. So it's not going to be feasible for you to commit or for you to do any sort of commission with them. And also, they don't come open stock. Now that is a big issue for people that are doing big commissions in colour pencil and stuff like that, because obviously a couple of colours are going to be more prominent than other ones, say like your background colour, in which case you're going to need maybe several of one particular pencil, and you're not going to be able to do that with these TomBow Irojiten pencils because they only come in these sets. But for like colour pencil enthusiasts, for adult colouring book users, that type of thing, these pencils themselves, the actual performance, the ability of the pencils will work fine in those types of mediums. I've tried them on adult colouring books. They work fine on the paper. There's no issue there. Like I said, the blending is the same. There's still that tiny little bit of issue blending. You can blend, but you've got to work hard at it. Now in terms of erasability, that type of thing, I'm just going to and so if I go and I use something like my TomBow mono eraser, here we go. If I go here and use this little TomBow mono eraser, you will see that in terms of erasing, they erase really quite well. And like I said at the outset, these are not exclusively wax or exclusively oil. There's oil and wax in them. It is predominantly wax, but you wouldn't think it would to use them. I've got this pink here as well. The core is really hard. It's a really hard core. It actually, with the exception of the performance, it reminds me kind of like a little bit of the Derwent Artist, that type of hardness of the core. And you can see there that again, that was a medium pressure applied to that, and the colour is really bright and vivid. So in terms of pricing, the pricing is really difficult to pin down on these particular pencils. when you go to somewhere like Amazon or something like that, here in the UK you're looking at about £20 per set, so 30 pencils, £20. But they used to be really expensive. There are still certain places where if you go to, they'll charge you £50 or £60 for 30 pencils. But on Amazon here in the UK, you're looking at about £20 per set, so 30 pencils for £20. In the US, it's about the same. It's about $25, and in Europe, it's about €30 for a set. So, in conclusion, I do love these pencils, and I will be going and getting the other 2 sets just to purely have them in my collection. And I think really, as harsh as it may sound, they are a collector's item. I just think that these are something that a lot of colour pencil enthusiasts would just love to have and collect and keep. In terms of doing really, really high-end art with them, I wouldn't suggest it because of the reasons I've already mentioned. But for other things, for crafters, for colour pencil, adult colouring book users, that type of thing, the colours that are available for the 90 pencils that are in this are beautiful, including the fluorescent set, the 10 fluorescent pencils that they have in here. And the fluorescent pencils, actually, I was really quite surprised at, because I've tried some of the pencils in the past, you know, the metallic ones where you have gold, silver and bronze, and they just never seem to work for me. I don't know whether it's something to do with the pigment or that they can't get right because of the metallic, whatever it is that's in them that makes them metallic. But with the fluorescent, the colours lay down really nice, really vividly. I mean, I'll put an image up of the entire 90 colour chart here. But unfortunately, this doesn't really do the colours justice, because when you put them down on decent quality paper, the colours are much more vibrant than what you can see on this chart. So now that you can find these pencils relatively cheap now, I would say there would be no harm going out and trying and getting a set of these, seeing what you think of them, using your own judgment, and see what you think of them. I personally love them. I really do love them, and I'm not being I'm not trying to misguide anybody or anything like that, but I personally love these pencils. I have used them in artwork in the past and stuff like that. They have a lot of flesh tones in them as well for some reason, and the flesh tones are really nice. But I love them. But like I said, I've said it a few times now, they are not the type of pencils that you would use on a commission piece. So that's that. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This has been a really long drawn out video. I don't know why I haven't been able to get this video right, but it just hasn't worked out right for me at all. Anyway, if you want to follow me, you can do. You can go across to the Art Gear Guide and you'll see all the links over there for Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all the rest of it. I haven't done that many drawings lately, guys, because I've just getting so many different requests from people to do reviews on things, which I'm loving doing, but it means that the artwork is falling behind a little bit, but I'm hopefully going to try and pick that up. And obviously doing these reviews and what have you, they take it out of me so much, and you wouldn't think that we'd do because there's not that much involved in them, but just because of the pain that I'm already in, it just takes it out of me. So you have to be patient with me, guys. I am trying to go as fast as I can and get this stuff out as fast as I can. But also don't forget to go across and check out Colour Pencil magazine. The issues that are coming out every month are just phenomenal. You should definitely go across, check out that. My reviews are in there on a monthly basis as well, but there's so many other things over there. I mean, like, the information that comes out in Colour Pencil magazine is just fantastic. So definitely check out Colour Pencil magazine, whether you get a digital subscription or whether you just get an ordinary subscription via their website. Then they'll post out a proper magazine to you. So thank you very much, guys. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video, and keep the comments coming. I love the comments, and I try to respond to each and every one of you, but again, it's a time thing. But I do my very, very best. All the best, guys. Bye.